And I'm Raisa.
And this is the Moody Love Club podcast. And today we are going to talk about Women's History Month and how women's inequality affects us day to day and our mental health. So, I think we should start with women in the workplace. How was your experience in general as a woman, working in your history of jobs and everything?
Kind of weird. Because I feel like I've been in very female-dominated spaces, like makeup artistry.
Oh, that's cool.
That's where it started. But it was still kind of petty, I guess, in that industry where, it just wasn't a safe environment for me. I think people are very cutthroat in the fashion world in general.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So it wasn't for me. And then I worked corporate for a while. I did project management, also in a very female-dominated company. But, this is where it gets like difficult to talk about this.
No, you're good.
So we had a male manager, the owner of the company and stuff. And, I thought it was a great company in the beginning because he was like, yes, we hire women who have left the workforce to have children and stuff like that. And that's all fine and dandy, but it got toxic too because I think this is just my...
Yeah, I know, of course.
Right?
Of course,
just my interpretation of the situation was that he knew that women could be more easily manipulated.
Yeah, no, that's definitely...
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think I've also heard... So after working there were other places where my friends and I... not me, sorry. Where my friends worked. And they would tell me stories about their male manager. And one day the male manager said, I'm only going to hire females from now on because they're easier. I was like, ooh, that sounds familiar.
That's not good.
Yeah. I currently work at a gym, very male-dominated space, but it's very comfortable. I don't know. I'm the only girl working there when I work. Mm-hmm. And my colleague is also a female, and so she'll only be the only girl there. But we work with a female manager.
Okay.
Who handles the bar. Who's also a co-owner of the space. And it is very different to working with a male manager.
Yeah.
But I also think it could be because we're in like the health and fitness industry that health is kind of at the forefront. So they want to make sure that you are healthy enough to work, that you are getting enough sleep, that you are mentally still able to do this job, even though it's easy work, let's say, right? They do take care of us really well. So I was working quite a bit last month, and we do also like B12 shots and different types of vitamin shots. Yeah. And I went in to get mine because it's winter and I just needed some extra energy. Mm-hmm. And then when I was going to pay, because employees get like 50% off, she was like, no, you take care of me, so I take care of you. And I was like, that's so nice. Like, I've not really experienced that before.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have in my previous job.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been different. And I would definitely say now is good. But it's not just because she's a woman. I also think it's just the industry that I'm in is different. Yeah. What about you? Tell me.
No, that's really interesting because I feel like, well, I guess the first few jobs you were talking about, was that here? Or
no,
other
countries. So the makeup artistry job was in Vienna.
Okay.
The corporate job was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also used to work in the fashion industry back in New York. I had a female manager, and she was awesome. I think she knew what it took to even get to the spot that I was in. I landed an internship to begin with, and she knew how hard it is to get there, so she was treating me really well. she'd give me her hand-me-downs of all her designer stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It was really sweet of her. Especially in New York too. I feel like it's pretty cutthroat over there. So she was really sweet. She showed me what good management was. Our boss was a woman, like the owner of the company and everything was a woman. And honestly, I mean, maybe this is with any company, but if I ever messed up, that was on my manager, and she would take the like fall for it. Yeah. And she would never get mad at me about it. She would like have a conversation with me, but she would deal with it in a really graceful way.
That's nice.
So I really appreciate that. At the end, I don't know if you've ever seen The Devil Wears Prada. I'm literally Andie in that.
That's funny.
Yeah, her name is Andie. And yeah, I just feel like there are other people who would kill for that spot. At the end, I'm so grateful for the experience, but I will say other jobs I've had, though, in New York, people, I know, I guess especially in the fashion industry, they want to drink green juices and be on, like, detoxes to, I guess, fit into certain clothes or look skinny or have a certain look. I was unapologetically eating fast food. I would smell, like, fries coming into the office, and everyone would be like, who ate fries? Who ate like fried food? And I'm just like, I have no idea. Not me.
It was not me.
One because it was probably one of the only things I could afford. I don't know if people know, like it's really hard to eat healthy in America. To like actually
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even in New York?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Oh.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I also think about what you were saying in female-dominated spaces or just women in the workforce. Some of them, or a lot of them, have to play the man's game. So if it means being masculine, being cutthroat in a way of being assertive, and it causes you to be like that towards other younger females, it's not the best look, and it sucks because that's what you had to do to get there. We don't have enough women who are in leadership positions, and if we do, they're girl bossing, you know. And it sucks because I feel like when I heard the term girl boss when it first came out,
you gotta explain this. What is that?
Girl bossing is literally what I was just explaining, kind of like,
oh, okay,
yeah, at first I thought, I was like, oh yeah, women are hustling, like that's great, but no, it turned into a very like a very bad term for you're girl bossing, but in a toxic masculine way. And it sucks because, I don't know, I definitely hear it from other people. Well, how am I supposed to get up in my career? You know, I have to play that game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think about some of my past experiences. One time I was a manager at a place that I used to work at, and I had to pull aside one of our employees about sexual harassment in the workplace towards other employees. And he was just straight up like rolling his eyes at me, like kind of just looking at his watch and phone, not paying attention to what I was saying. And it took me talking to my like colleague who was another manager. He spoke to him and sat him down without me, and that got through to him. And at the end, what sucks is I know my colleague helped me in this way, but he was like, honestly, like, it's because you're a woman. He's not going to listen to you.
I can't believe he straight up said that.
He straight up said that to me. I think he was trying to be nice and, like, honest.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, so did you add on to that? Did you say that that's not okay to, you know, not take women seriously? Especially with sexual harassment. Yeah. Like, what? And I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, thinking that some of my even nice male colleagues don't entirely get it. Yeah. Or how they don't get how they can be of help. Yeah. In like equality in the workplace. Yeah. I wish I could have that conversation today with him, but it's just like, you know, things have passed. But I don't know, I hope this kind of helps other people listening think about standing up for women in the workplace. When you are a leader, you should be respected in your role because you are trying to help make this a safer work environment. It shouldn't take a man coming like man-to-man conversation for someone to listen.
Yeah, but I'm like, unfortunately, I feel like sometimes that is what it takes.
It is, and that's where he was coming from with that. But I guess I wished he had added on to it. He didn't tell him, hey, you've got to take her seriously. Like, I know she's, young or a girl or whatever, but
she's a girl, but you have to take her seriously.
Like, yeah,
exactly. Hey, you hear this? Yeah. The audacity.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was one of my experiences. We also just don't get paid the same amount.
No, we don't. And here we go. Pandora's box is opening. No, we don't. And yet, we have to pay the period tax.
Oh my god, period poverty.
Yay. So it's tampons, it's pads, it's it's also
our birth control.
Birth control. It's also if we want to buy female, what's it called? Branded stuff. Like shavers. Yeah. I was just saying, right? They're always a little bit more expensive than male shavers.
Yes.
Which is really weird.
And also from, what I used to talk to my other girlfriends about, ours are more expensive and they also suck. So actually a lot of my girlfriends and I started to buy male razors because they're stronger, they're better. They're made for, male hair. And it's just ridiculous. Okay. I was just like, hair is hair.
For hair,
Like, give us equal razors. Like, what the fuck? I don't know if I can swear on here.
You can. We established we could.
Okay, we could. Yeah, you're right. But it is like, why? Why does it have to be that way?
I don't know.
And
because it's pink. No, isn't that what it's called? The pink tax? I think that's what it's called. Really? Yeah, the pink tax. I'm pretty sure. Ridiculous. So no, back to what you were saying. Yeah, we get paid less. That's a fact. Don't come at us for this. And we have to pay more for living our freaking life and bleeding once a month. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't understand why that's not somehow provided for us. Or actually, we're getting paid less, but we have to buy more things that are more expensive. Yeah. How does that make it make sense?
Like monthly.
Yeah, no,
that's just a thing in our budget. Yeah,
no sense. But the gender pay gap is 20% globally. Mm-hmm. Definitely, more or less in other countries. It's 2024. What's happening?
Yes, and also it's sad that you have to think about. Oh, I can't get pregnant in this job. If you're interviewing, right, you'd be like, oh, don't tell them that you're pregnant, or don't tell them if you're planning on it, don't tell them if I don't know, tell them you're single. Sometimes that's the secret, is what I've heard, is just say you're single.
Did you watch White Lotus?
Yes,
the first season.
What
the woman working at the Hawaiian hotel, she was pregnant, but she didn't want to say anything because she just got the job. I don't remember. Really? Okay. Yeah, no. So basically, spoiler, she was pregnant, and the manager thought she was just fat. And so literally she would be having, I don't know, what do you call those again?
Is that what were you
contractions?
Yeah.
Yeah, at work. And she was thinking that her water was going to break. And you can hear her on the phone with her husband. You're like, just tell him you're pregnant. She's like, no, I can't. I just got this job. They wouldn't have hired me. Obviously. And it sucks that we have to think that way. Yeah. I'm personally, I don't think I'm ever going to have kids. Mm-hmm. But it's not fair to those who do want them or have them. Yeah. I also think about how hard it is for women to go back into work. When you are a stay-at-home mom and you want to get back, in the workforce, you have this large gap of no experience.
That's not true, though. Yes. A full-time mom is a full-time job.
Dude, period. It sucks that they have a harder time. And there's a reason for it. It should be more normalized. I don't really get why it's so frowned upon. And then this leads into, like, I guess more healthcare. But then there's abortion rights.
This is your topic, girl. I'm handing it over to you, Andie, because it's
okay.
intense in America.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I think about, okay, so you don't want us to go back to work. You're not giving us opportunities to, but you're also forcing women who cannot or do not want to pursue having this baby. And, like, are you going to provide for us? You know, if someone was, you know, I hate to say it, like, raped, you know, or if it was not consensual. Yeah. And they have a baby in a certain state, they can't just go get an abortion. No. And now it's gotten weirder. I guess, like, Alabama is now considering, you know, IVFs, like, fetuses, like actual fetuses, and they have the same rights as humans, apparently.
I judge that very hard.
It is. It's so...
with what else is going on in the world and how the U.S. is contributing to the death of a few children.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well.
And so what? Are they not important? But it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And then, like, who's gonna, like, let's say these, just not IVF, but let's say a person in poverty has been raped and now they have to have this child and you won't allow them to have an abortion. Okay, fine. Abortion probably would cost a lot of money anyway. Yeah. Fine. But who's going to provide for the child? Exactly. Are you going to do it? And I think that's a question that I often ask people when they ask me, when are you going to have kids? And then I ask them, are you going to pay for it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, shit's not cheap. Like, children are expensive.
No, and this is funny because I've, like, talked to people about this here. I say, you know, the moment you give birth in America, you're around $35,000 in debt. It's just not covered well enough on anybody's health insurance.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Like, it's a lot of money.
And then, okay, I know an American who moved here, which is awesome, just in time for them to have a baby here. He's like, yeah, we have, you know, one, it's obviously covered in our insurance, but two, we actually literally have someone to come home to us and help us for the first few weeks.
Yeah, they do. So actually in Dutch healthcare, they get a nurse that comes in at least the first week to kind of help you figure out how to take care of your newborn child. They help you with everything. They teach you how to do everything. And then if you want, there's an additional service as well called a night nurse. Okay. Where they will be there the whole night to take care of your baby so you can get your sleep.
That's wild. That if you tell any Americans listening to this, I'm sure you could agree with me. That's absolutely not real. Yeah. That's crazy, and it's how it should be. Yeah. But it's mind-boggling, I think.
Also, in Asian cultures, we also have confinement. Are they called nannies? I don't know. Confinement ladies, let's just say. So especially, like, I understand the Chinese culture very well in Malaysia about confinement ladies. So they come over, they help you take care of your baby, they take care of you, because in that culture, you are not actually allowed to do anything. Like, after giving birth, you should not be on your feet. You should be relaxing. Wow. And they give you a lot of foods that kind of help re-nourish your body, and get rid of all the air that's kind of been collected during the birth. So you eat special foods that these confinement ladies will cook for you. And so for about a month, you shouldn't leave the house is part of that process. And there are quite a few Asian cultures that have this. Yeah. So I remember also, like, seeing ladies... European ladies that are out of the house after like 2 weeks, and this was like, with your baby, no. Yeah. You know, like, no, you should be chilling. Yeah. You just gave birth.
Like, relax.
Yeah. You should be pampered.
Yeah.
And we have clinics like this too. In Korea, there are clinics. I know I've just read an article on it. In Malaysia, there are now clinics where you can just basically, after giving birth, just go to the clinic. Obviously, you have to pay for it. And they take care of you and your baby, and you're good.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, that's amazing.
So what, you don't have anything in the US? Like
No,
nothing? You just,
no.
So do you know the process? Like you give birth and then you go home, or what's the process?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because if you stay an
You have to
extra
pay
few days,
more.
you're paying every day, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
in the Netherlands, if you're good, nothing has happened, no risks to your life or the baby, within 24 hours of giving birth, you're sent home. And then, yeah, they bring the nurse over and stuff, which should be part of the package. A lot of people also like to give birth at home in the Netherlands, though.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Like, why is that? I mean, do you know? No?
I don't know why, but I know that in the contracts and stuff, you have to agree that if anything goes wrong, they can lift you out of the house via your window.
Really?
Yeah, in any life-threatening situations, they will do that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it's good here, I would say,
Oh, yeah.
to give birth. That's why a lot of people in the Netherlands have babies. I'd actually not seen that. So when I was living in Vienna, I didn't see that a lot. And when I came here on trips and stuff, like I'd be like, damn, there's a lot of pregnant women in this city.
Yeah.
Wow, like why is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're taken care of.
Isn't daycare also affordable or something, you know?
Here?
Yeah.
I would like education is not seen as a privilege but a right in Europe. So
yeah, all right.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You know,
complete opposite.
for sure. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I actually feel like what the U.S. is going through right now is like Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, Margaret Atwood called that for sure.
Yeah, oh my God, the whole IVF thing is crazy. So do you know what women are doing? Like, are they taking their embryos and putting it outside the state of Texas?
Literally, I've been seeing stuff online, and you know, don't quote me on this, but people are saying that they're just rushing to get out of there, like taking their eggs and piecing out.
That's so strange.
Yeah. Oh, and then
so wait, just going back. So they're being basically forced to have these babies.
they're now humans and now that they're humans, basically because they're a fetus or an egg, they have the same rights as people.
Who comes up with this shit? Who is sitting down and going, oh?
I saw this tweet that was like, it was a tweet that said,
Go ahead. That's the dog.
I saw this tweet that said, if you put a living 5-month-old baby in the freezer, it will die. Mm-hmm. But if you put your eggs in the freezer, it won't die. Yeah. And the tweet was just like, just in case you're stupid and didn't know what the difference was. And I'm like, it's true. I don't know. That's crazy. I think about, you're forcing us to have these kids, but you're not going to help us actually be able to take care of them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
They don't care about actually living, breathing children, but that's so weird. It's so weird.
Also, like leading into that, postpartum depression.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
And you get it after an abortion.
Really?
Yes, you do. After an abortion, after a miscarriage, the same hormones are in your body.
Wow.
You can get it. Yeah. And like also it's that
you just realized he's
sorry.
No, you're so cute.
Yeah, you can get it. And so just coming back to the confinement ladies, if you've had a miscarriage, let's say, you should by right do confinement for a month because it's the same thing. You've given birth.
Yeah. This is like kind of in the same vicinity, but I'm thinking about, I saw someone made me realize this. When you're traumatized somehow by someone or something, it's up to you to get yourself out of that trauma, which just sucks. So, you know, women who are like raped or forced to have these babies, or, you know, are in this depression, it's also our job to get us out of that as well.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, and not to play a victim, but, well, this happened to me, you know? So why?
What do you mean?
Like, especially if it's like non-consensual sex.
Does this happen to you?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, like, as a person,
Yeah.
it happened to me. Why do I have to also now pay for therapy?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, have to fight for my rights to not have a baby.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just, it really is, it's difficult to think about anybody who's gone through that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. And people don't realize the mental toll it takes to deciding, I don't want this child. I think that's a big thing to think about. Women don't just go, I don't want the baby.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some do, but I think a lot of the time you're thinking about, can I afford this? Am I in the right mind space to have a child? Can I have someone who's gonna be depending on me for the rest of their lives? It's a big commitment to make, and I think if you are too young and you don't have the means and that's not what you want right now, I don't see the problem. But trust me, many women think very long and hard before they actually come to the conclusion that they need an abortion.
Yeah.
And then they have the abortion, and then it's a whole other story because it messes with your hormones. Your whole body's fucked up. You've got an immense amount of guilt, obviously, that you're living with because you're like, oh my God, what have I done? And I'm pretty sure a lot of women that have had abortions go through that.
Yeah. No, that is just... Also, why are people telling us what to do with our bodies? Yeah. So women's mental health. We can go into that, even though we were kind of already talking about that. Women are still, you know, when they're emotional, they're portrayed as weak, like they can't handle something. So if they're crying or even just showing empathy, and I just think about like the workspace, that kind of just is the first thing that comes to mind. Someone's not going to want to have them be a leader for something because it's like, oh, she can't handle it.
I think that personally has changed for me, that when a man doesn't show emotions, I consider them weak.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like,
me too.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. I think about, I don't even know who, but a few people on Love is Blind.
Yeah. I just saw a, I think she's like a relationship therapist on Instagram, and she was talking about Love is Blind and like what all the issues that, you know, some of the contestants have. And at the end she goes, all these people think they want love when really they need therapy. I was like, oh.
Ooh, she said
yeah.
But yeah, I think what I was saying, I think about Love is Blind, and there are a few men who have cried on there, and I think that takes a lot. You're crying on...
Oh, it was like last season. There was Izzy and Stacy. Man, Stacy made Izzy cry. She was so cutthroat, though. I didn't like her.
Remember.
Izzy was the bald guy.
Okay.
He was bald, and she was the blonde girl who had her own house and drove like really bougie cars.
I remember this.
She was like rich girl. Yeah.
I remember this. Yeah.
And like she made him cry all the time. I was like, you're so mean.
Yeah.
She was so mean.
I just think it's great when men can show emotions.
Me too.
Like that.
I love it. Yeah.
And it sucks, and like it's still portrayed for some men that that's weak, you know, and it shouldn't be. I think it takes a lot to do that, but unfortunately I know, at least in America, in some of the workplaces I used to work at, it's still the same. It's still, oh, she cries a lot or she gets anxious a lot. She's not going to be able to handle this. Let's not give her the lead on this project. Yeah. I
don't know if I like that. Like the don't cry at work. Don't cry in front of your manager.
Oh my God. I used to cry. Okay. I cry / have panic attacks like way back when, in 2015.
Yeah.
And it's, well, I think my anxiety have become more under control now. But back then, I wasn't going to therapy. I wasn't on any medication. And this is always an example I'm going to use. But if I was told to call someone to make an appointment, right?
Oh, you said this before, that it would just cause...
It would make me so anxious.
Immense anxiety,
and it would make me spiral and go into like, well, last time I called and no one was helpful and they told me to go to another website, which also wasn't helpful.
So you were overwhelmed.
Yeah, but it was just starting to spiral in my head, and I would literally, not kidding you, I would leave the office, go to the bathroom, cry, panic attack for 2 minutes, and I'd be fine. It's just so weird. You just needed
to let it out.
But yeah, I think about when I used to have those panic attacks, and it just sucked. You know, not having any support in any kind of way. Because you can't. Yeah. You can't cry at work. You can't show weakness like that. I'm never going to move up. I'm never going to get paid more. Like, it really sucks to think about.
I think, I have to think if I cried in my corporate job. I'm pretty sure I did. But I think I cried. I would cry after getting off a call. Because I'd just be like, I can't deal with this shit. Same. I feel like I've also cried as well. I think about work, healthcare, just life as a woman is definitely not easy. And, you know, I really look up to people like my mom and my grandma who just... They took their whole lives. Yeah. Moved to another country. Yeah. They're so brave for doing that and literally starting a whole, like, family there, you know? And so gracefully as well. It's just, I don't know, it's amazing to have them around. I think about my own mental health, and I wish there were more resources. I wish there were more affordable resources. I hate that it always comes back to money. Yeah. But it's true. So you're like stressed about not making enough money, and it takes more money to like be alive as a woman. I'm just like thinking of something else. My friend told me that they pay for their own birth control, and I think before that, one time they had to pay for Plan B, and her partner had the audacity to be like, so yeah, you want to split this? And she's like, are you serious? Like, I already pay for so much for like us to be even like be sexually active. Yeah. Like, what the heck? This makes me think of something else we've spoken about. Who should pay on a date? Yeah. I mean, I think it's nice to court someone and, you know, be like, hey, like, I want to pay for your meal because I asked you out. I think that's also personal preference and a cultural preference, right? Yeah. Personally, if I know this is a date, I will not offer to pay. Yeah. But I don't know. Now that I'm making my own money is kind of different. It's like I don't mind splitting it, but like yeah. But it's also, but it would be nice if they are like they were like, "Oh no, let me get this." Yeah. You know. I think I'm kind of the same way. I think I do take it like if I ask you out, I do want to pay for it. I'm asking you to go out with me. Yeah. Interesting. I like that. Yeah. No, exactly. That's literally like how it is. That's cute. That's what I think, at least. Doesn't matter going on like a date with a man or a woman. It's funny too because there was this New York Times article where this guy was writing about, you know, like Gen Zers think that
men should still pay on the date.
Mm-hmm.
And as this person was talking to their, I believe, millennial friend about it,
Mm-hmm.
they split the bill. And she was saying, you know, I don't make as much money as you.
Mm.
I actually will, like, women won't, or don't, not never. I don't want to say that. I don't know if I'll be alive for that, though. You know?
Let's see.
So,
we can be hopeful.
yeah, we can be hopeful, of course. But it's like, I don't make enough money. I don't make the same amount as you.
Mm.
I also think about, I'm just spiraling into something else. When I used to live with a male partner, and we were talking about, you know, splitting the groceries, and he's like, yeah, so you want to split it in half?
Mm.
And I laughed because, one, I don't eat as much as you do.
Yeah.
And two, I don't even make as much as you do either.
Yeah.
This person made maybe 30-40% more than I did.
Which is a lot more.
A lot more.
A lot more.
So I'm not even eating as much, and you wanted to split that in half. And I mean, I didn't yell at him and get mad, but we did have a conversation. He was like, oh yeah, you're right. Same thing with rent. I feel like, you know, living with someone, it's nice if you can split it evenly. But yeah, it's also. You're like, I'm not on that boat.
I don't know. No, I don't know I don't know if I could do that. No.
No,
I can't. First of all, with how much I'm getting paid.
Exactly,
No, like
exactly.
it's just not realistic.
Exactly. I mean, I think there are certain situations where, yeah, maybe a woman is making more than her partner who's a man, then fine, I get that. But for the most part, no. Like, we aren't getting paid equally. How am I supposed to pay exactly half of what the place we're living in?
Well, you know, if I can add from my parents.
Mm-hmm.
My dad obviously was the main breadwinner for most of my life. And then when he retired, my mom got a really good job. And now she pays for most of it. So yeah, you're right.
No, it's I also think about dates too, and it is kind of like I would like for the other person to pay, but make me want to pay for you. Yeah. Make me like want a second date where it's like, no, I got this, because
I really enjoyed your company.
Yeah, exactly.
Money doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like,
if I really like you, I'll spend money on
exactly.
you.
I'll go
true.
into debt.
No, we will not go into debt.
That's dramatic.
But no, I get you. Yeah, that's a nice way of looking at it.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just, I mean, everyone's situations are different, but I think you should want to court someone in that sense where you do want to end up going on more dates. Also, I think a lot about this a lot. I don't need this. Like, I don't need this date or relationship. I'm totally good on my own.
I'm here because I want it, not because I need it.
Exactly. And so I don't care if I don't ever see you again. So make me want to see you. You know what I mean?
Ooh. I love that. We're getting real here. I get that. Yeah, no, that's nice. No, because I think it's really important that we like note, so that that article that you were talking about, right, where the Gen Z and the millennial are chatting. I think it came down to that thing where he was like, isn't this what you want? Because women want equality, so we can split the bill or some
isn't
shit,
this
right?
What you wanted?
Yeah, like, isn't this equality? And I remember sending you also
this TikTok.
Yeah, and like all of the comments were like
so cringe.
Which we should share. We should totally put that on here.
We'll put the link on. But basically, the TikTok was dating nowadays, and it's
making fun of it.
Making fun of it, where a man and a woman are like walking together, and the guy is like, opening the door for himself and
holding an
umbrella for himself and not for like the woman.
And then giving her the car keys so she can drive.
Yeah. And the comments were crazy. The comments were like, well, isn't this what women wanted the whole time? It's like, and I'm like, no, you're missing the whole point.
Totally.
We have a whole month dedicated to this, and I really hope that some people out there who think that way can be a little more open-minded to the fact that when we ask for equality, we're not asking for to be treated badly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're asking.
Or for the roles to reverse.
Yeah.
No one's asking for
No
that.
one's asking for
We're
that.
asking for very basic things. It's not about the role of the woman now becoming the man and vice versa. I think it's more about let us have more money.
Let us both be
Let us
able
have more
to
opportunities.
split the bill
Yeah.
without it being so controversial.
Yeah.
Like,
let me court you too.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't think that's a role reversal. I really like that, by the way. But
it's a personal preference.
yes, it is. But it's also, no, it's really down to like, let us get paid more. Let us have equal opportunities when it comes to jobs. Because I feel like we don't.
Let us do what we want to do with our bodies.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Stop telling us what to do. In terms of abortion laws, and even making stuff accessible for women who literally do have to go through more monthly compared to a man in terms of expenses too. So yeah, I mean,
and also like, yes, I feel like an argument could be like the period cups.
Oh yeah.
But not every vagina can handle these cups. Everyone is different, okay? Everyone's bodies are different.
Absolutely.
So even though they've tried to come up with solutions that are possibly more affordable for us, it's not for everyone. And that should be noted and highlighted, I think, with these new inventions and creations.
Definitely. Actually, and how much, I don't even know how much time we have, but like, not to go too into it, but
we got time.
Women's safety.
So
coming here,
this is such a huge topic, but
let's definitely go into it.
Yeah.
When I got here for the first time, I was asking, other girls. I was like, so where can I get like a pepper spray and a taser?
Is that legal? It's not legal here, right?
They said, I don't think that is. And they were like, why do you need those things? And I'm like, well, I'm a girl and I'm here in a new country and I don't want to get, attacked at night. And they were like, is that what you do in New York? I'm like, yes. I always had some kind of self-defense weapon.
That's wild.
Yeah, always. I had this thing. My dad gave me a Kubaton, is what it's called.
What's a Kubaton?
It looks like a pencil, but like a really sharp pencil. And you can use
you
it.
Can stab people with?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, seriously. And everyone here looked at me like, are you okay? Like, why do you need all these things? And I'm like, I don't want to get attacked.
No one will attack
kidnapped. And they're like, that doesn't happen here.
It doesn't happen here at all.
And now I've been here for over a year. I will say, like, it is very safe, but I have to keep in mind, don't get too comfortable.
No, absolutely not.
Because anything can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
And
can I add to this?
Go ahead, yeah.
So not about like here, but like if I have male friends that like travel to the US or to wherever in Asia and they're going alone, and it's so nice because I'm like, God, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could do that because I know that their experience is going to totally be different from what the fuck I'm going to experience if I travel all alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah.
No, sorry, just like in Peru as well. I was just in Peru. And the amount of security concerns of me just like leaving the hotel by myself.
Yeah.
Was like a big deal.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, but if I was a guy, I'm sure it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
I don't know if you practice this here because it's pretty safe here, but in America at least, women are taught and known to, when you get in your Uber, you ask, who is it for? You don't go, oh, it's for Andie, because anyone can say yes. Anybody, any random driver.
Oh my God.
Yes. And so
that's a good tip.
Yeah, no. And my partner here would go in and be like, is it for me? And they're like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to do that. But I'm thinking, oh, okay. No, you probably don't ever have to worry about getting kidnapped. One, because we're in the Netherlands. But two, you're a guy. You never have to think of those things.
Wow.
Imagine just hopping in an Uber and being like, yeah, for Andie, and some creepy person who doesn't
like,
even expect you.
Hells yes, Andie.
Yeah, Andie, for sure. You know, it's just...
I don't do that. I just get in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone here has to do a lot of the things that I had to do in the US. Yeah.
But that's true. Also in Peru, a girlfriend of mine was like, always get like an Uber. Never get a taxi from the street for safety reasons, because you with the apps they can track the car, right?
True, yeah.
But obviously, if you get a taxi off the street, they can't do that.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's things here, but back in the US, I would call somebody. Let's just say I was out drinking and, you know, I'm really tired, I'm really sleepy, I could fall asleep in the car. I'd call someone to help them, to have them keep me up until I got home. Because that's one of the rules too, you cannot fall asleep in the car.
Wow. Even if it's an Uber?
Even if it's, yeah.
Wow.
Even if it's an Uber. Anything can
so
happen.
For us in Malaysia, because obviously I was very young there, and whenever I did get in a cab, my mom or my dad would make me call them to tell them the name of the driver.
Oh wow.
The taxi number. This was like before Uber, right? And stuff. Because I was also very young, and like going alone in a taxi is insane when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they made me do.
You just reminded me. So I would say like hookup culture in New York is pretty normalized, especially with dating apps. A lot of people who want something casual.
Yeah.
They'll talk on the app for a bit and then maybe just only want to hook up something super casual. They'll probably meet for a drink or something.
Yeah.
My girlfriends and we would have a group chat, and if no context, they'll just send an address. And it's basically like, hey,
have fun.
Basically, it's like, hey, if I don't respond or if I'm not around, this is where I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
wild. But I feel like that should be a practice in every hookup. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we even had just the craziest other things where, you know, someone was seeing someone who wanted to fly them out to a place, and we were background checking this guy like crazy. Yeah. And it was funny, and we were like, get him on the phone, we need to see him, we need to make sure that like he's legit.
I love that though.
And I love that, but it's just
it's sad that you had to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's wild, because I bet you he didn't have to do that with her.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not.
She could have been the serial killer. Huh?
Yeah, you never know. Yeah. Be a Gone Girl situation. But yeah, I think it's really great to have a community of women, you know, back in New York who do look out for each other like that. There was a Facebook group of, have you dated this guy? And people would post on there the profile of someone and a story being like, this guy tried to like, you know, touch me, and it wasn't consensual, and he kept following me home. Like, you'll have these stories, so at least when you see these people on the apps, you know, like, absolutely not. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. It's like the Tinder swindler or some shit. It is. And it's just, you know, the Facebook group is kind of funny. I don't really go on it anymore. But yeah, that's just something about women's safety. Wild. But also about running. Yeah. Right? Because I remember when I was living in London, there was I should laugh, but it was a little funny because whatever. But it was not funny. So I was walking around Regent's Park, and there was like a poster of a guy. I think that's what was funny. It was just a picture of the guy. Like, it was like a 3D rendered photo of this person, whatever. It looked ridiculous, but it was like, have you seen this person? Because he had raped a runner in the morning at 6:00 in the morning. She went running. She was from the university. Wait, where is this? Regent's Park, which is like a really bougie park in London. But that has happened. Like, how many times in the last few years have women gone missing and have been killed walking through a park? So, like, I would never walk through a park. Even in the Netherlands, I won't walk through a park at night alone. No, Hell no. I walk on the street. Yeah. Even if it's going to take me long. Well, I won't walk. I'll probably bike. But yeah. Yeah. No. It sucks. I've been just seeing more and more cases of, you know, women missing. Yeah. There's, you know, a mom who is 50 years old who runs every day apparently, and I want to say it was Australia. Yeah. Still hasn't been found. It's wild. And how long has she been missing for? I feel like this was maybe a month ago. Wow. Yeah. And I hate thinking the worst of that. There was someone else, a 22-year-old somewhere in America, who was literally killed on campus, like after her, like during or after her run or something. Running. This became a super controversial topic, and like we're not going into it because it's too much.
Okay.
The person who did kill her is not a legal citizen.
Oh God. Yeah. Why you do that? Like.
Yeah. It just. Oh my God. That's a whole other thing. Yeah. But it sucks that we have to think about those things. Yeah. I went on my run today. Today was the first day I was running 4 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers. And
I want to check.
It's like the first time I'm running 4 miles pretty much every day this week. And so I've been doing 3. And now today's the day I do my 4th. And so I did 3, in a normal kind of route. And I was thinking, there is 1 more mile I can do, but it is through like the forest.
And you wouldn't do it.
I went halfway and I ran back because I was scared. And I hated that. I hated feeling. I'm just like, it's 1 more mile. Like I can push through. And I'm like, imagine what happens in 1 mile. And so I ran back. It sucked.
Where were you running?
This is like in Zuidost.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's just, and the thing that sucks is nature's pretty. So I want to run through that.
Yeah.
But so many stories lately. I hate that. And I hate thinking, oh, well, it's in the Netherlands, so it's pretty safe. No, you never know. You really never know. Also, another thing that I've been taught, don't run the same route every day, every week.
Yeah, because someone might be watching.
Someone's watching. Someone knows you run here every Monday. Yeah. They're going to be there every Monday.
Yeah.
Mix it up. It sucks that we have to think that way. Yeah. But those are some safety measures that you have to take. Also, for those on Strava, are you on Strava?
Oh, what's Strava?
Strava is basically a sports tracking app.
No, not on Strava.
Yeah, so a lot of runners, bikers. I think you can even record your yoga sessions on there.
Oh, okay.
But you would write. You can manually do it, but if your watch tracks you, it'll say, yeah, you ran 4 miles and this was your route.
Right.
It literally puts a map of where you ran.
That's very scary.
And so there's a lot of privacy settings. My issue with this is that it's not obvious and it's not told to a lot of people that, hey, everybody can see the map that you just, like the route you just took.
Yeah.
Your profile isn't private necessarily. You have to make it private or public. There are safety tools where it says, I don't want anybody to see my route near my home, like a certain radius, which is great.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that,
Well, now they do.
Well,
I hope now you do.
But yeah, like think about those things. It sucks. We talked about this in the last episode, how accessible we are.
Yes, way too accessible. Too much information out there on everybody.
Yeah, and I'm thinking now too. My girlfriends and I, we use Find My Friends. Do you use that?
No. Is this an Apple thing?
Yeah, it's an Apple thing.
Oh, then maybe I do.
Yeah, you basically sharing your location.
That was okay. So that was one thing that I did in Peru.
Yeah.
And I sent it to a friend of mine, my location. Because I was like, if anything happens, at least you know where I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because I don't think my mom knows how to use this. Like, she had it too, but I was like, just in case.
Yeah.
Then you'll know my last location.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it just sucks though. Like, why do we have to do that? But that is safe. That's good that you do that. And it's weird that a lot of girls don't actually know that here. And I've like asked other girls, like, do you share your locations with your other girlfriends? And they're like, no. Do you guys tell each other when you got home? And a lot of them are like, no, why? Like,
oh, I do. You have to. It also stresses me when they don't tell me that they're home. I'm like, bitch, did you get home? Are you alive?
Tell me. Yeah. No, a lot of my girlfriends too, we used to be like, hey, text when you get home. Yeah. Here, no one does that.
Oh no, I make my friends do it. I don't care.
That's good. That's good. I just I haven't met girls here that do that like as a normal thing. It's just something that
they take for granted.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
For sure.
And I feel like if they go to less safer countries,
Yeah.
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 Who's a woman that inspires you and why?
Yeah, I think I kind of said mine briefly.
Oh yeah, your grandma and your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just takes a lot to do all those things, move to another country, like literally start a whole new life, going to school, getting some kind of a degree, then, you know, actually starting a career.
Yeah.
Especially in a country that unfortunately racism is a huge thing. And, you know, if you're not white, you definitely are targeted in some kind of way. So just the fact that my family, my mom and grandmas have like gone through that, that's just very admirable.
Yeah.
And they do it and they show it with grace too. It's like, it's so inspiring. It's like, oh, that's easy peasy.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, you know,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
You know,
yeah. Yeah, so that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Who are some of the women you look up to?
My mom for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So she grew up in poverty and made her way to becoming very successful, very well known Malaysian. And yeah, how can I not look up to that, right? I think there are parts of me, parts of her that I see in me in what I'm doing in my work. I'm never going to be her. Very real with the fact that she and I are very different people. But I think we both hustle in different ways for different reasons.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So she's been super inspiring to me. And then I also think Viola Davis, like her story has been ridiculous to me. So it's the whole idea of like manifesting your life. But it's like, yeah, mom worked her ass off to get to where she wanted to be in life. And it's very much the same story as Viola Davis. And I think that's probably why, like, after reading her book, I was like, this is incredible. Like, what an incredible woman to come from poverty, from nothing, and then now to be like one of the biggest movie stars out there. And same with my mom, like, come from poverty, from nothing, and to become one of the how do I put this, most she's made an impact in Malaysia, I would say. Let's put it that way. Yeah, a really big impact in Malaysia.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, and I guess I'm thinking now too, all of my girlfriends that I was talking about this whole entire podcast, just us, you know, them teaching me and each other safety things.
We learned so much from our girls. It's true.
You know, like when someone's buying you a drink, like watch them pour it first. Yeah. Like don't just get one. Yeah. You know, just like little things like that. So definitely all the women there. Yeah, I
also think it's good to mention that I also admire the men that allow women to be better than them and not feel what's the word I'm looking for, threatened.
Inferior, threatened,
by their success. I think this is it's very admirable. So props to my dad. Thanks, Dad.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say about just
that's
that.
all I had to say about it.
No, but thank you for listening to us. I think, and you know, I hope that this podcast really helped open some minds up to you know, what women go through if you had no idea or don't talk to women enough, or you know, aren't a woman. We do go through a lot. I think it's great that we have this month, March, to talk about it, but it's something that I hope we don't have to have at some point, because we'll be equal.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.